In the town of Ibo, a woman named Zainab appeared from nowhere. No one knew where she came from, who her family was, or her past. She was a beautiful woman with glowing skin and eyes that sparkled little stars. But it was not just her beauty that caught the attention of the man. It was jingling raised beads she wore. Every time she walked, the soft, enchanting sound made the man's heart race. So, then followed her, tried to win her attention, and spent their riches on her. There was one rule she held there. No one could touch her waist bead. She could always smile and whisper, "It makes me sweeter." Child, the richest trader in Imo was at first to fall into her trap. His wealth meant nothing when he saw Zainab. Obsessed with her, he sent her gifts, but Zainab always rejected them. Eventually, he took matter into his hands and invited her to his mansion. But the moment he reached for her waist bead, Zainab warned him not to check budget, saying, "It makes me sweater." Chime, blinded by desire, ignored her warning. The next day, his own house burned down and his fortune was lost. His mansion collapsed in a storm, and within weeks, Chai's empire crumbled. His wife left him, and he was reduced to begging for food in the marketplace. Next came King Akintoy, the feared ruler of Ivo. He had everything: wealth, power, and wives. But when he laid eyes on Zainab, weeping out nectar, he sent her guests, but Zainab refused. Instead, she demanded that he come to her personally. Then King Akintoy visited her. She agreed to go to his palace only on the condition that he spoke to her with sincerity. That night, as he lay beside her, the king reached for her waist bead. Zainab refused, saying again, "It makes everything sweeter." The king lied the others, gave in to his desires. But this was his downfall. Days before Lord, his warriors then ill, his cattle died, and his treasures disappeared. The people turned on him, and eventually King Akintoy fled into the forest, his crown left behind. Durujai, a young successful banker, was next to fall, his wealth and some Leon being nothing. Then he saw Zainab in the market. He followed her, and when they met that night, we too were enchanted by her. As always, he tried to remove her waist bead, but Zainab refused. "It makes me sweater," she said. The next day, Gurujai was fired from his job for stealing money he didn't pay. His wife left him after finding out about the accusations. But in a week, Gurujai had lost everything: his job, his family, and his reputation. Once again, Zainab's curse had taken its toll. More men continued to fall under Zainab's pen. One by one, they lost their fortunes, family, and sanity. Yet, despite the devastation around them, other women in Ivo began to wear these beads, hoping to capture some of the power Zainab seemed to hold. But no one realized that it wasn't the beads themselves. It was Zainab's bead, that one that carried the curse. Other women who tried to mimic her could only wear ordinary beads. They had no effects. But the bio was different. He was a man without fear or shame. Having lost all of his wives due to his infidelity, Adebayo was not like the other men. When he saw Zainab, he did not chase after her. or send gifts. Instead, he studied her and waited for the right moment. When they finally met, Adebayo demanded that Zainab remove her waist bead. Zainab, for the first time, faced a man who was not affected by her powers. He refused her charm. "If you cannot take it off, I do not want you," he said. Zainab, for the first time, felt fear. Adebayo had done something no man before him had ever done. He had challenged her. That night, as they lay together, Adebayo seized Zainab's wrist and tore the waist bead from her body. The moment the beads broke, Zainab screamed. Something inside her snapped, and her power seemed to vanish. She ran through the streets of Ibo, and frantic as the town washed in her, the tub spilling out of her. She had been a poor, humbled girl whose stepfather from her grandmother, a fair witch. The waste speed had granted her power over men, draining their strength and wealth with each encounter. But now her power was gone because had been joking. The people of Ipo, horrified by Zainab's revelation, began to turn on her. The men she had destroyed, Chai, King Akintoe, Durojai, had not regained her rank or power. The townspeople began to throw stones at her, and despite her pleas, they showed no mercy. Zainab was stoned to death in the town square, her body lay lifeless, the broken lace bead beside her.